What I've enjoyed most about my placement at Weistec is just how welcoming and supportive everyone is. With each rotation, I've had two great mentors who are always here to support you and help you grow.
What I've enjoyed the most about Weistech is the variety of people I've gotten to meet.
It's a support network that's created for the interns because it's been really nice to share the experience with similar-minded people.
Seeing how software is created in the real world.
The supportive environment.
Meeting new people. It's really hard to meet new people during these COVID times. So being able to see some fresh faces and learn from them was a nice change.
What I've most enjoyed about my placement at Weistech was working with industry professionals because it really gives you a sense of what life's like after university.
Be open-minded and to have a can-do attitude. Be confident in what you're capable of doing and what you know, but also be okay with not knowing everything or not knowing what to do.
You only have a short period of time here, so try and make the most of it by learning as much as you can.
My advice to someone who's starting at Weistech would be to try out different things because you will be supported by the people who work here.
Come in with a growth mindset and be willing to try new things.
Talk to as many people as you can. Not only does this really help you understand Weistech and the way it works much faster, but it's also just so much fun to get to know all these different people.
Hi everyone, I'm Richard White, the CEO and founder of Weistech Global. I've always had a real interest in technology. Even before I got into computers, I was really interested in technology generally. Early on in my career, I got some contracting jobs with logistics companies, and I realized that their systems were very poor, very disjointed, and in need of major rework. And I thought it was a problem that was large enough and complex enough that it was really worth solving. It would be very powerful to solve the problem well. I was able to take the initial problem set of international freight forwarding and customs procedures and turn that into a very valuable, highly sophisticated global business. This is a very complex area of business because you have to pass through two borders. And at that point, goods have to be cleared through a customs procedure. And as well as that, the logistics of the goods as they move has to be planned and optimized. And we build a system and deliver that system to our customers that is a complete solution for most of those capabilities and problems that you have to do international trade. We have customers in 130 plus countries, and we have a huge amount of the world's capabilities available to us on our platform, and we're growing it every single day. And we've become, a very, very standard system for the industry to use. I've always been very curious about how things work, and I've liked to solve problems, and I like to understand what tools you can have to solve problems, and I like to innovate and create new ideas that solve problems. And all of those things together, plus the tenacity to keep moving, to keep pushing forward, and the ability to impassion yourself and the people around you to drive value and to create something of lasting significance is a really important part of the journey to building a successful business. Well, I think technology companies and technology people have always been at the forefront of cultural change and cultural adaptation. And COVID created a catalyst. And technology companies adapted incredibly smoothly and quickly, particularly Weistech. We were thinking about going out of the workplace in March 2020, which was before anybody else was doing it in Australia. And by the middle of April, everywhere in the world that we had a business, people were working from home. And actually our productivity went up. Our people were able to continue to do their great work and be creative and innovative and powerful and deliver on time and do wonderful things with software whilst working together and yet digitally very connected, but physically very remote. Well, I think, first of all, technology has always been an industry that creates change and makes things better. It enables people to use their intelligence and their sophistication and their education and their abilities in ways that 20, 30, 40 years ago were unthinkable. It creates a very strong employment environment for people who want a stable and strong employment. It creates value for our communities and for our countries. Well, there's a couple of fundamentals that you have to build a clever business on. If you're going to be an innovator, you're going to be a disruptor. The whole idea about the status quo is that we're going to change it. And so you need a certain type of people that think differently, that want to work together to make a difference. And you can't get all that in one person. You have to have that in groups of people. And those groups of people need to work together to create that environment where unconventional ideas can come forward and questions can be challenging and people can disagree about things to get to the better answer. And you need a lot of things that are created when you have a diverse and inclusive workforce. That's really kind of the secret sauce. Well, remember that a technology company is still a business and it still has a lot of facets. It's not like every single person in Weistech is a software developer. That's not true at all. We have marketing people, we have sales people, we have finance people, we have legal people. There are a lot of facets that are not cutting code. I happen to think that writing software is a very significant and powerful idea, and that by itself it does create the fundamental of the company, but there are a lot of capabilities that are needed in any company to make things good. When you're dealing with a large organization, which is largely about people working together, everybody has to have the ability to either find people with soft skills or to have those soft skills. The ability to inspire people, to drive passion into the business, to create that idea where curiosity is allowed and asking difficult questions is allowable is a fundamental idea. They're the skills that people need in order to bring everybody together and actually have people create something new and different and better. Well, I think you should give it very strong consideration. At first blush, technology seems like it's tough, hard to do, but you know, I can tell you that technology is a very cool industry with some fantastic people in it, and it's freeing of your lifestyle. It creates an environment where you can do things that you could never have thought possible. We support the movement of hundreds of millions of transactions of goods moving across borders every day of the year, and I think that's a really powerful thing. We are making a difference in society. We're making a valuable contribution to the Australian economy. We're giving a lot of our staff an important and valuable career, and we're making a difference to the world in terms of our social and economic and our environmental responsibilities.
Hi everyone, my name is Tanzim Saida. I'm currently a software engineer at Wisetech Global. I've been here for about 2 years, and I'm also a 4th year software engineering student at the University of Technology, Sydney. As a software engineer at Wisetech Global, usually I have meetings from 8 to 12 in the morning, and this includes code reviews or anyone that needs my help or input in something that they're planning. The rest of the day is for me to actually work on the work I'm doing. So that includes writing code, includes peer reviews, any kind of documents that we need to make. It's really exciting because I'm always working on solving real world problems using technology and real world logistics solutions. The thing I enjoy most about being a software engineer is just how broad it is. Often people think that because you're a software engineer, it's only about being in development, only coding, but it's actually more than that. And I really love how much I get to collaborate with other people and talk to other people about problems that we have and how we can use technology, how we can use our resources at Wisetech Global to solve those problems. When I was in year 9, I was looking at what I wanted to do in the future, and as a young person it often is really challenging because we're expected to decide what degree we're going to go into, what kind of path we have from a really young age. So I was looking at my options and I had chosen IST as my elective in year 9. My teacher came up to me and she was like, "Oh, Tanzim, have you ever heard of coding, programming?" And I had no idea what it was. I think at that moment it hit me why don't I just give it a go, because I don't really need anything. There's so much out there online. I started learning how to code in Python, and it was really satisfying to see when I typed something, I created something. The best advice I would give high school students that are looking to go into tech or have no idea what tech is to start now and just give it a go, because technology is the future of the world. A lot of things depend on this now. I feel like a lot of people give up because they feel like technology is just coding. It's so much more than that. and just you don't know what you don't know until you give it a go. Something that really helped me excel early at a young age was having the mindset that you don't need to be at a certain age to study something. When I started thinking like that, it just opened up so many opportunities for me. I knew that this is what I wanted to do in my career. I started looking at what I can do to get myself involved more in the industry. So I started applying to all these places, asking for 2 to 3 weeks of just work experience opportunities, just so I could experience what it would be like a day in the life of a software engineer would be like. After about like 200 emails I sent out, I was really fortunate to land a work experience opportunity at Google at the age of 15. It was incredible. I had no idea that would even be possible, but just the thought that I kept trying and never gave up, and meeting people that would help me get there. I'm a big believer in having mentors, because we don't have all the time in the world to keep making those mistakes over and over again. But if we start learning from other people that have been in our shoes, just as you are today, it makes the past more clearer, because you know what things might go wrong, what things might work. So I've always been really fortunate to have incredible mentors around me from when I was young in the industry. You're just putting yourself out there and you're asking for advice, and people are so happy to help you. So I've had amazing mentors from Girls Programming Network. My mentor from Google really helped me in deciding what I want to do in my career. I'm currently in a team at Weistech Global called Software Operations. It's a very different team compared to the rest, because we focus on the whole Weistech and how we can enable the Weistech way in everything we do. That goes through what kind of tools we can use, what kind of tools we can provide developers with, what kind of behaviors makes a successful developer, how we should be more productive. The culture at Weistech is amazing. We have a mantra that we follow across the company, that anyone can talk to anyone at any time. And what that does is break down hierarchy and puts us all in one place, and allows us to think as not just everyone around us as managers, but peers that we can approach. There's amazing initiatives that we have at Weistech, like Bureau Clock, Cake Day. Initiatives like this just allows us to connect with other teams and other people from other places to give a different perspective.
Thank you for your presentation. Daniel and Michael from Wisetech will now answer any questions you have. So the first question is for both of Michael and Damien. What is your favorite part of your job?
Damien, do you want to go first?
Sure. I think my favorite part of working at Weistech is problem solving. I do a lot of coding as part of my job, and simply get sunk into some challenging problems, and that's something that I find enjoyable and rewarding when I crack it.
Great. I think for me, I'd have to say my favorite part is the challenges that we get given every single day. We work in a global company that's trying to solve global problems, and it's just a very ambitious and exciting place to work. So just the scope of work that we have to do, and the challenges that come with that.
Yeah. This is another question for both of you guys. I'll let Michael go first. What type of software development projects has Wisetech worked on?
Okay, so I mean, we are building software for the logistics industry, so we cover off many different areas, whether it's working on compliance pieces for customs, or whether it's looking more at managing warehouses, or whether it's trying to optimize the routes of ships and trucks and different deliveries that are taking place. We kind of cover off most areas of the supply chain. So the projects are very vast and varied. Now, I'll throw it over to Damien to talk specifically about the project that he works on in the Weistech Academy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so there's a lot at Weistech. Specifically, I work for Weistech Academy. We are a registered training organization, which basically means we provide education. We provide education to the public, to our clients, to the staff of our clients, to actually our own staff here at Weistech Global. Yeah, we have an entire system in place, a learning management system where people can create their own content and upload it. We could present that or stuff that we've written, because we have experts on our team that write a whole bunch of content about freight forwarding, customs broking, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we teach.
Yeah. Can you explain what type of roles are required in a software project at Weistech? I'm assuming this is for both of you guys again, so I'll let Damien go first.
Sure, it requires heaps. There's a lot of different people, and I certainly can't do it justice to everyone. Broadly, there are sort of three roles: the product people, the delivery people, and the technical people. So technical people requires coders, as well as people like graphic designers and UI and UX experts. As project management, there are a whole bunch of people playing different roles. There are technical experts that sort of know the field, and of course, there's 100 different teams behind the scenes that are very much crucial in developing our software. All our backup teams like the software operations that Tanzine's in, and everything's like our accounting team and teams like Michael's in HR are crucial for what we do.
Yep. Michael, did you want to add on to that?
I think that covers most of it, so we can probably go to the next.
Yeah. Okay. What is your favorite part of your job? And I'm assuming it goes to both of you guys again.
Okay, well, maybe we'll start with me as I'm on the camera. So I'd have to say, I work more in recruitment and attracting people to the company. So just working with all of our talented engineers and meeting new engineers that are coming into the organization. It's amazing to hear people's stories about how they've got to where they are, about why they do what they do, and just meeting lots of really interesting people, but also working with really interesting people and then seeing them join the company and grow.
Yep, over to you, Damien.
I think one of the things that I've enjoying a lot is I'm what we call an emerging leader over at Weistech, but basically that means I'm getting opportunity to do some leadership stuff, some teaching and some training, personally some working one-on-one with people, and I just really enjoy seeing people grow and seeing people do something and be confident in doing something they didn't really know how to do a few weeks ago. So that's what I really enjoy.
Here's another question for both of you. I'll just let Damien go first.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? What do you work? What do you work for, like, on a daily basis?
Yeah, sure. So my morning is likely to have a team meeting. We do that 3 times a week, so we catch up and talk about what kind of projects we work on. Usually the first thing that I'll do before that is answer a few emails. Often because we work for a global team, there'll be a few that came in from some counterparts of my team in America overnight that I might respond to. From there, I'll sort of first work on any defects or bug fixes. They're rare, but they do happen. And from there, I just split my time up both between mentoring and sort of helping people achieve things, occasional talk with people and planning out our projects, and a lot of my time just goes into coding, coding up whatever solutions and problems that we've decided. That is where the bulk of it really goes, is doing that work.
Michael, did you want to add anything?
No, I think Damien's covered off a good amount there.
Yep. How large are the teams at Weistech? Can you let us know a little bit about what some of the teams are dedicated to? I think Tanzim said she was working on Weistech as a whole. I'll let Michael cover this question.
Maybe I'll take this one. Okay, cool. So our team sizes really do vary. You know, we've got hundreds of people working on our products. So generally they'll be kind of between 5 and 10 people, a team size. And as they start to get bigger, they then kind of break down into sub teams. That's one of the reasons why we have programs like the Emerging Leaders program that Damien discussed earlier, because there's always new teams forming and we need people to go in to lead them, and there's a lot of opportunities to do that. So it's generally between 5 and 10. We have a number of products. Our main product, CargoWise, is essentially a product of many products. So we break the teams down into different modules. So they may work on a specific area of logistics, like it may be working on customs, or it may be working on warehousing, or as in Damien's case, it's a totally separate product that is more of a educational tool that's used by our clients and also internally. So yeah, there's many different challenges that the teams take on, whether it's more domain driven or whether it's more looking at certain types of technologies. The teams have different specializations, but yeah, they're generally between 5 and 10 in size.
Yep. Next question's for Damien. What did you study at uni?
Yeah, sure. I started working at Weistech before I finished uni, so it's not 100% related, but I ended up doing a Bachelor of Science at Sydney Uni, actually the Advanced Mathematics stream, with majors in mathematics and computational science.
Yep. How has COVID affected Weistech Global? I'll let Damien answer this one.
Yeah, well, I suppose the biggest change in a way is that we no longer work from the office. We used to work from the office almost exclusively. People might work for 1 or 2 days at home a week, but almost all in the office. And now, apart from a couple of essential IT kind of staff, we are all at home at the moment. And we've sort of migrated from a model in which we are all in the office to a model which will only be in the office part of the time, even after all these lockdowns finish. So I suppose the biggest change is the mode of working. It's actually, when all this is settled down, we've all got our vaccines and there's not much COVID. We actually won't be in the office nearly as much as we were, at the beginning of last year.
Yeah. I'll hand over the next question to Michael. What roles, in regards to technology, does Weistech offer?
Good question. Many. So we have, obviously software engineering roles, and the software engineering roles cover off many different areas, whether you're looking at databases, whether you're looking at back end, whether you're looking at front end. There's a lot of different areas of software engineering that people can get involved with. Aside from that, we have product management roles, which is more people that are speaking with clients, that are getting an understanding of what is required within the logistics industry and building out the product roadmap. We have delivery managers that help our product teams to be more efficient and to be more productive in the way that they go about delivering on projects. Like Tanzim's team is software operations. Their focus is very much on providing an environment that makes it easier for our engineers to work. We have a lot of roles within IT infrastructure. So, working within a data center with servers, working on our clouds, DevOps roles. We have a very large machine learning team. So working on data science problems, data analytics. I could go on. There's many different areas of skill sets that we require. You know, we have a design team that work on UX and UI design. So yeah, it's a large and varied skill set that's required.
Yeah. The next question is for both of you guys, so I'll just let Michael go first. Is there a quote that motivates you?
Is there a quote that motivates me? Good question. I guess there's one. It's that courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it.
Yeah. What about Damien?
I'm gonna have to go with one of the Weistech mantras for this one. Slower today, faster forever. And yeah, it's about taking your time and doing the job right. I think that, yeah, even if it takes a long time, it's all right because it's for the long-term benefit.
Yeah. What do you think are the most important skills to have to work in the IT industry or Weistech? That we can let Damien answer this question.
I don't think there is any one set of skills. I could say what I think a good C# developer that does back-end dev. Yeah, there's a set of skills for that, but a set of skills to work at a Weistech, there isn't one because there's just so much that we do here. Really, I think it's more about your attitude. If you're dedicated to learning and dedicated to doing a good job, that's what's important. I think a passion for working on yourself will be far more important than any one skill.
Yeah, maybe I could add to that. Yeah, like Damien says, it's definitely like a mindset thing. You know, people that really like to not only know that something does work, but they want to know why it works. And then once they can understand why something works, they want to then make it better. So it's not about knowing a certain technology skill set. It's about having the right approach to, you know, becoming a better technologist. Yeah.
The next question's for Tanzim, but I'm hoping that maybe you two could perhaps answer it. The question is, hi Tanzim, what was the secret behind you being able to gain work experience with Google while you were at school? Also, for rural and regional students, is it quite difficult to gain work experience with organizations like Wisetech, especially with no family to stay in, etc.? And are there any ideas on how to assist with this other than online or virtual work experience, which only goes so far?
Well, I mean, at the moment, it's kind of difficult to do work experience outside of an online environment. So I guess for rural and remote people, that kind of does mean that you're on a level playing field if you're unable to find accommodation in Sydney. Yeah, I don't know how Tanzim got work experience at Google. I know that she's a bit of a go-getter. She's very confident to introduce herself to people, and I think that's really important. You know, be confident to send someone a message, whether it's on LinkedIn or whether you've got their email from somewhere. Introduce yourself, who you are, why you're interested in what that person does. You know, and just kind of put yourself out there. That's something that Tanzim does, and you know, it's stood her in very good stead to get the work experience and the jobs that she has, because she's very happy to just, you know, meet with someone, get to know them, and just even make an introduction. So don't be afraid to do that, because you know, people that work in these organizations may seem scary, but you know, they're not. They're happy to chat to you. They're happy to provide you advice, and whether they can provide you with work experience, whether it's something else, there's always a benefit from talking to people that are in the industry. So just put yourself out there.
Yeah. Damien, did you have anything to add on to that question?
No, not really. I never really had an internship. I can't really say much on that one.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll just give the next question to Damien. What was your pathway to Wisetech? What did you study in uni? Did you have to get high marks? What were the most important things you learned?
I suppose my path work to Weistech sort of started, I could say, many years ago, back in year 9 or 10 when I started learning how to code. and from there, something I was good at, something that I created passion for, and something I started enjoying. I did study coding at university, but I have to say I don't think that was hugely part of the skill base, because most of my coding work was just self-taught and learning. And then I got in touch with a company called Exceptional. They're a company that helps autistic people in the tech industry find work. And I sort of showed them my skill set, and they said, "Hey, here's this company, Weistech," and they sort of put me in touch with Weistech. And from there, I did a coding interview and went through the interview process at Weistech. So really, Exceptional was the organization that connected me with Weistech, and it was because of my skills in coding, which partly came from university, but also mostly just came from playing around and having fun.
Yep. What language do you code in at Weistech? We can let Michael answer this question.
Sure. So mostly C#. It's the main programming language that's used at Weistech, although there is a really large mix of languages that are used. So, you know, there's a bit of JavaScript used. Some teams use a bit of Python as well. You know, we have an embedded team that uses a bit of C++. So there's a wide variety, but the main programming language used is definitely C#.
Yep. I think we just have time for one final question. We'll let both of you answer this one. What is the
Sure.
best job decision you have made, and what is the worst job decision you have made? I'll let Michael go first.
Okay, well, look, to be honest, and I'm very honest about this, the best decision I made was joining Weistech. I did it about 3 years ago, and I've been at the company for over 3 years now. And yeah, it's certainly changed my perspective on work and my approach to things. Worst job decision I ever made. Is this as in like, I don't know. I couldn't name one bad decision. I think, you know, you learn from everything you do, and even things that may not go to plan end up, you know, being a learning experience. So I don't have a worse job decision, I don't think.
Over to Damien.
My worst job decision would be doing traffic control. That was a thankless job. There was absolutely no fun. It did not pay nearly as well as people think, and you copped a lot out there doing that job. That was my worst job decision. My best job decision would be just to begin looking for work in coding. That would be by far the best decision I made. That led me here, working to Weistech, which was another great decision. But I think just the act of deciding to work in that industry was the best for me.
Yeah. Thank you for your insights and sharing your experience about IT careers.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.